Very good evening, students. Today's topic is attitude. The word attitude has been derived from Latin word aptus, that means ability and facility. Herbert Spencer used this word first time in 1862, which meant the mental state of an individual. Attitudes are generally acquired as tendency of our behavior towards other. They are significantly influenced by our past experience. Attitudes are stored in our long term memory where they reside almost permanently. They develop as we interact with people or things, gather certain impression about them and evaluate them on the basis of our experience with them. This leaves by and large a permanent effect on our mind so that every time we came in contact such peoples or object we have a tendency to think about them and behave them as we did previously. Out attitude toward our parents, brother, sisters, and other are guided by what we received from them for intense love, affection, sympathy, a good care, hate, criticism, indifference, etc. Same way, our attitude toward our teachers are formed on the basis of how they teach us. Impressed with their personality, passes on to us their ideal and principles, and how they assert themselves on by their knowledge, teaching style, character, and personality. Here I want to tell you about the definition of attitude. So, according to the Jung, attitude is a readiness of a psyche to act or react in a certain way. Here I want to add one more definition according to the Travers. An attitude is a readiness of respond in such a way that behavior is given a certain direction. Attitude is a learned emotional and behavioral response to a stimulus or a situation. In the next slide, you can see there is lots of characteristics of attitudes, and these are they are not inborn but learned, mostly by experience. Attitude are no concrete form of behavior but only concept. Unlike motives or personality traits, attitudes are objective. They may be negative or positive. On formed, attitude persist and, and do not change much in ordinary conditions. They are seen operating in behavior towards specific individual or object consistently. Some psychologists identify attitude with opinion or belief, other feels it comprises on like or dislike of a person towards someone and something. Attitude are important because they contribute a lots of developing social relationship among peoples and determining our adjustment in society, values or behavior. Come to the next methods of forming attitude. You can see in this slide there is lots of methods are here. So let's start one by one. First method is by mean of suggestions. Attitude can be formed by means of suggestions. This means suggestion depend on the various points such as status of a person who gives suggestion, clarity of the suggestion and the ability to understand the suggestion. For example, if the person who gives the suggestion of high status, knowledgeable and genuine, he is likely to be successful forming the attitude and concerned individual. Suggestions should be clear, concise, and accurate. Lastly, the person who suggestions are to be given must have ability, capability, and slight willingness to understand the suggestions. Next method is by blindly accepting the social norms. Attitudes are formed by blindly accepting the social norms. Some societies have very rigid norms, whereas others have flexible social norms. Most people in conservative society, most of the members blindly accept its social norms. There is no place for argument in such society. Their attitude is formed in such a way that they cannot think beyond their social norms. Next method is by means of intense emotional experiences. Attitude are also formed by means of intense emotional experiences. There may be various situations in the life of person. Sometimes he may have a great emotional experience due to excessive stress of emotion may he have affected deeply. Such experience may from different type of attitude. Even his previous attitude may be changed or transformed due to extreme emotional experiences. Next is through participating in games and sports. Sports, health, and other social attitudes are also formed through participating in games and sports, such as attitude to win, attitude toward exercise, towards physical fitness, toward fair play, toward obedience, towards wellness, toward health, and toward discipline, etc. So let's start with attitude to win. Winning attitude is formed when a sportsperson gets success persistently for a number of times. He always tries to win at any cost. Success helps him to form an attitude to win. On the other hand, failure declines the winning attitude. Next one is attitude toward exercise. If you have an interest in performing exercise for a longer period, the attitude for doing exercise is formed. Next one is attitude toward physical fitness. Attitude toward physical fitness is formed if you have an eagerness to remain physically fit. You will definitely engage yourself in doing physical activities regularly. If most of people appreciate physical fitness in a society, the attitude toward physical fitness will definitely be formed. Next one is attitude toward fair play. If due stress is laid down on the fair play by the coach and officials during the participation in the games and sports, the attitude toward fair play will be formed among the participants. Last one is attitude toward discipline. It will be known fact that discipline is a must in the field of games and sports. Without proper discipline, it's useless to think about success. So, due to stress is laid down upon discipline in the field of sports.